It's Mark Wiens in Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm absolutely thrilled because right now I'm going to be making the recipe for one of my absolute favorite dishes in Thailand and probably the entire world. It's called Goong pad sataw, and Goong is the Thai word for shrimp, and then sataw is the Thai word for this gorgeous ingredient known in English as stink bean, and then known also as petai. I think it's also known as bitter bean or twisted or cluster bean. Anyway, this is one of the absolute gems of the world that grows naturally. We're gonna stir fry this up with some shrimp and some curry paste, and it's gonna be absolutely delicious. For this recipe, you'll need the stink beans, of course, and I used 6 pods, which probably came to about half a cup of peeled stink beans. Then about 6 to 8 kaffir lime leaves, 2 heaping tablespoons of southern Thai curry paste, about 400 grams of shrimp, and the medium-sized ones work really well for this recipe. And basically most of the seasoning is already in the paste, so you don't need too much extra, but you will need a little extra spoon of oyster sauce, about a half a teaspoon of shrimp paste, and about a half a tablespoon of sugar. And then finally a few tablespoons of oil for frying. Sataw is a very readily available ingredient in much of Southeast Asia, but I'm not so sure if it's available in other parts of the world. So if you cannot find stink beans, you can substitute a kind of a crisp vegetable like Chinese long beans or even green beans would work. But if you can find stink beans, it is the absolute ultimate ingredient, so do try to find them if you can. The first step is to prepare all your ingredients and get them ready to stir fry. Stink beans grow in a really hard, twisted pod, and the outer skin is actually really tough. So the easiest thing to do is take a sharp knife and slice the beans in half from the outside. And do this to all your stink bean pods. Then you can go back with just your fingers and just kind of pull out the stink beans from the shell. There's also an inner cream-colored film or skin on the beans, and you want to peel that off as well and throw it away. And then what you're left with is a nice, beautiful, almond-shaped stink bean. Next, onto the shrimp, you just want to pluck off the head and peel the shell of the body, and then make sure you slice it down the backbone and devein it. Now the Thai style is to peel the full body of the shrimp, but leave the small tail on. So you can do this as well. That's it for the preparation. Everything else should be ready to go. Now turn on your fire, and you want a medium-high heat. You can add 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil, but you don't want to skimp on the oil or your curry paste will get dried out and stick. Make sure your oil is sizzling, and then gently add 2 heaping tablespoons of southern Thai curry paste. Also, you can immediately add about half a teaspoon of shrimp paste. Then start frying the curry paste, making sure it doesn't stick. So you want to fry it pretty hard, scraping the bottom of your pan. Keep frying the curry paste for about 30 seconds, and it's going to become really fragrant, but you don't want it to burn. Then toss in all 400 grams of your shrimp, and keep stir frying continuously for about 20 to 30 seconds. Now if it starts to get dry, you can toss in a splash of water. Then in goes your stink beans, and keep frying for about another 30 seconds, and keep working your wok really fast. Then you can add about half a tablespoon of oyster sauce and about half a tablespoon of sugar. Stir fry all that together, and again, if it starts to get too dry, you can always add in a splash of water. But keep stir frying until you can see the shrimp are just about fully cooked, and they're starting to get firm, but not overcooked. Okay, now the final step is to take 6 to 8 kaffir lime leaves and just tear them off the stem with your hands. Tearing them will bring out their wonderful lemony, limey flavor. Stir fry for just a few more seconds, and your shrimp and your stink beans should be cooked, but not overcooked, and then take your pan off the heat, and you can immediately dish it onto a serving plate. By this time, your mouth should be watering, and you should be really hungry and ready to eat. So if you remembered to cook a pot of rice beforehand, that is a great thing to do. Okay, so the Goong pad sataw is ready. You can just see these gorgeous prawns, the Petai sataw, and then just that incredibly wonderful Southern Thai curry paste blend fried that we made. Okay, I can't talk anymore. I gotta eat right now. A shrimp and make sure I get lots of gravy in this bite. Shrimp, rice. Oh, look at that. That just melts my heart. That is stunningly good. I can taste all those chilies that we ground up, the turmeric, and then the sataw, the stink beans. They're a little bit bitter, but the texture is just amazing. It's like a crisp, almost like a raw green bean texture. So it has that really fresh crispness, and then just coated in that chili, stir-fried chili and garlic. This is just one of the world's finest dishes, and I wish you could be sitting here eating with me right now. I hope you enjoyed this recipe for Goong pad sataw, which is one of my absolute favorite Thai dishes and favorite dishes in the entire world. Thank you so much for watching this recipe, and be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, share this video with a friend, and if you can find stink beans, you just have got to try this recipe.